Hi, my name's John Blair, and in this tutorial I'll show you how you can complete your first transaction by embedding an Ecwid store into your Umbraco website. The agenda for this tutorial then is we'll do a demo of your first transaction with Ecwid embedded in your Umbraco site. We'll then take a look at how the Ecwid store was set up and how it was integrated into your Umbraco site. Finally, we'll take a look at some relevant code snippets. Let's complete our first transaction using the Ecwid store then embedded into our Umbraco site. So this is my Umbraco site, and I've added an Ecwid store to a page within it. The embedded part here is the Ecwid store, and it blends in around the theme of your site. So we'll just order our product. The product includes VAT. This is configurable in your Ecwid store, so we'll check that out. At the moment I've just enabled payment by cash, primarily because Ecwid doesn't appear to offer Sandbox Braintree account at the moment, and I didn't want to do a live transaction. So we'll place that order and tell you that's the order complete, so we can continue shopping and we're back to the store. So then we just wait for our invoice to arrive, and we can see that we have the item offered. We also get a PDF showing you this is the public Ecwid site. When we place the order, customer service, which you set up in Ecwid, and who's bought it, and the breakdown of the price, which shows VAT 20% for UK, and that completes your first order. Okay, let's see how we can integrate an Ecwid e-commerce site into our Umbraco website. So here we are on the Ecwid homepage. We click the Get Started for Free and register a new account. When you do that, you're set up a default store, which you can edit in the control panel. You're given a catalogue of products to start off with, to guide you in adding new ones or editing existing ones. You will then go to the website part and give your site a unique name, so that this is the public site that you have by default, which you can customize and just keep. You don't have to embed it into Umbraco, but if you do, then let's continue and see how that is done. Before you embed it or push your site live, you'll want to set up the general store settings, so your company email and address. Your company email gets copies of invoices sent. You'll want to set up your regional settings, so currency, pound sterling, GBP for the UK, and your metrics, weight, kilograms, centimetres, etc. You'll then want to add taxes in UK VAT. If you take the free site, you have to use the manual method. So in my case, I've added a VAT tax name and set it at 20%. I include that in the product prices, and I enable it by default in all products, and that's VAT taken care of. I've ignored shipping. For the moment, there's loads of shipping options. I've ignored payment options. There's loads of payment options, so you can use Stripe for credit card processing. There's PayPal. The default was just to accept cache. The one that was missing for me was Braintree. It has a useful sandbox test environment, so you can check out transactions, returns, cancellations, etc. But this option didn't seem to be available here, and Braintree generally wasn't available. But there are loads of other options there that may be useful for you, and some of them I was quite surprised. Cryptocurrency payments, so it's definitely lots of options, but yeah, have a look and see if it's got what you need. So with that done, then the next thing you want to do is to embed it into your own store. So the control panel, if you go to the overview area, you can see there's an option to add your store to any website. So you just copy the code to the clipboard. There's not much in there. I did for the store in some script to load your store into that div, but you need a means of pasting in HTML into your Umbraco page to make use of this. So we go to my Umbraco site. You can see I've got a store page, and all my pages just have a container, and we add relevant sections to it. So I'm just adding a store section, which is a general HTML section, and all it takes is the HTML you want to embed. So we paste that in, save and publish it, and that's our store set up. Another thing we want to do on the Umbraco site is set up a menu link to it. So in my header section, I've got a sidebar menu at the top, and I've just added that store page in. I wanted to add a shopping cart icon to the left of it, so I've just pasted that in as part of the text. Normally I just have standalone text, and that completes it. So if we go to my site, we can see that sidebar menu contains the store link and displays the store, and that's your Ecwid store embedded. Okay, let's take a look at some Umbraco code snippets of relevance. All my content pages have a layout based on this master template, and in there's a head scripts section and there's a render body section. And what my content page does is it looks at all the child sections of the page section and pulls out the ones that should go in the head and pulls out the ones that should go in the body. I have sections that go in the head, for instance, CSS style, custom style sections that you might want on individual pages. You can add them on my site and specify that they are to go into the header. The same goes for script sections. You can specify they go in the header or in the body. All other sections will just render in the body. So the HTML section, for instance, that we use to embed the Ecwid store, that doesn't have a head option, so it just gets bunged into the body. And here we can see that we just bung in HTML that we paste in from the Ecwid store custom code that we looked at earlier, and that's really all there is to embedding the Ecwid store. To summarise then, I find it relatively easy to set up a standalone Ecwid store and then embedding it into my Umbraco site. And I noticed on the Ecwid store there was lots of payment options, but there was no Braintree option, which I like for its sandbox environment for testing out transactions. We didn't look at this specifically, but in Ecwid there are sophisticated delivery options where you can choose your courier and prices can be calculated automatically based on weights of your products. I noticed the store adapts to your Umbraco theme, and there's also scope for you embedding additional CSS into your own site to override the look and feel of Ecwid should you want. Also noticed that Ecwid was much easier to set up than WooCommerce, although the Ecwid checkout process may not be as configurable as what you have in the WooCommerce checkout pipeline, where you can insert your own tasks into the pipeline should you want. But overall, I thought Ecwid was an excellent offering of an e-commerce store should you want to integrate it into your Umbraco site.